What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a recent episode of Run It Back, right, that I saw. That's with Lou Williams is on there, Boogie Cousins is on there, and I don't know the other two people that are on there, but I am familiar with Lou Williams and Boogie Cousins, right? And they had an interesting discussion. They had a discussion about JJ Redick calling out his Lakers team when they in the lopsided loss they had to the Atlanta Hawks, right? And I wanna listen to that because I want to give my perspective on what I think about JJ Redick calling his own team out. As a matter of fact, before I even play the audio, I just want to say that I don't have a problem with JJ Redick calling his team out, and I thought that when sometimes as a coach, if you have high expectations for your team and you see that they are playing poorly, I think it's a good thing to call them out publicly. Not in a disrespectful way, which JJ Redick, in my opinion, didn't call those guys out in a disrespectful way, but he want his team to know, and everybody who's watching his team, that he have higher expectations for his team, right? And so, with that being said, I'm going to play what they said on the show. What is it? Run It Back with Lou Williams and Boogie Cousins. And like I said, I'm gonna come back and give my perspective on what I think about what they said and how JJ Redick handled the situation.
It's down the road, but you keep moving forward. You keep building. You keep the goal in mind, which is obviously competing for a championship at the end of the year. But like I said, these type of losses happen. You just keep moving forward. Put this loss behind you. Short-term memory, and you move on to the next.
Yeah, when you look at the start they had with no LeBron James, Luka in and out of the lineup, Austin Reeves in and out of the lineup, 7-3, it's a hell of a start for them, and they're going to continue to get better when they get fully healthy and fully loaded. And they found something. They found something with Marcus Smart, kind of throwing him in there. DeAndre Ayton has been more consistent. Jake LaRavia, now you're hearing that name more and more. So they're finding guys of what they can do with this team. And when the guys are fully loaded, when they're fully healthy, we'll see their real, rotations and kind of their roles to come real. But it's a great start. Like, if you told me right now all the issues they've had, that they're 7-3, there's always going to be bad loss. There's 82 games in this season. Like, there's always going to be stinkers like this. I don't even know if you watch film on something like this. It was so bad. I think you play them one time, probably in 3 months in LA. Like, who cares? You flush this one. You look at the bright side that right now you're 7-3 and you're not even close to being fully healthy, and you're going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip the script on this one. I just think they got caught slipping. They played the Atlanta Hawks team that before that game was 3-1 with Trae Young being out of the lineup. They've been playing well. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you can get tricked into it when you look and see Porzingis is out, Trae Young is out, Johnson is out. Oh, we'll be fine on this
Easy
one.
night.
Yeah, and what you run into is a group of guys that are hungry. Yeah, that are hungry to continue to win. And I think that's what they ran into with the Atlanta Hawks. I don't put too much stock into this game. I think they got caught slipping.
They probably had some lemon pepper Lou the night before. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But
why do you have to say it all creepy though? Like when you do it. Like,
yeah, who knows? But that's their prerogative. But on the basketball side, on the basketball side of it, I think they just ran into an Atlanta Hawks team that's hungry to get that name straight in.
Prerogative. Well, JJ Redick has no time for any of these reasoning moments because he was not happy about it afterwards. Here he is.
Was there a moment in that third quarter that you realized that this was not going to be one of those nights where at least your first unit was going to get that?
I realized that in the first 2 minutes of the game.
What did you see in those first 2 minutes?
Nothing.
By the way, that whole post lasted like 2 minutes.
All right, so as a coach, JJ Redick let it be known that he wasn't impressed. And sometimes as a coach, when you see your team go out there, you know automatically like that they don't have the energy that night, or they don't have, like their mind or their focus is not into it. And he recognized it. And what he just said right there, I don't think that was over the top or anything. They didn't show anything, and that's why they was blown out.
minutes total. They had just come off of a 5-game winning streak, by the way, Lou, but he does not handle losses well. What do you think about that? I don't like it.
You know what? I didn't love it. And if I'm a player, I don't really love it, especially
Really?
we're in a good run, we're in a good season. Like, let's not overreact and do this.
Interesting.
Like, we're not having our way in this season. Like, we're having a pretty good season. And JJ should know as well as anybody, these type of nights happen. These type of games happen. Now, his reaction can be his reaction. But if I'm one of the players and I'm one of the guys that's playing for him, I'm not really feeling that reaction. Like 2 minutes within the game, and we still got 46 minutes left to play. So you telling me in those first 2 minutes, you knew that we weren't gonna have a good game, or you didn't see nothing out of our performance. Some of that is your responsibility as well. If you don't see us having the juice and having the energy that we need, or we're not executing the way, then put us in those positions. That's what your job is too. So kind of the attitude towards it, I didn't love it. You know, sometimes it is on the players. Sometimes it is on the coaches. Sometimes it's a collection. I felt like in Atlanta, it was a collection. So for him to kind of dish it off, I wouldn't have been feeling it as a player, but you know, both of these guys can tell you it's a lot of long nights in the NBA, and everybody ain't gonna agree. You're not gonna be happy with everybody's attitude every single night. So it'll be one of those things. You have a conversation with JJ. I'm sure he had a conversation with them for sure, and then you get over it and you move on.
It's just funny to me because he left.
Let me reply to that, right? So Lou Williams said that as a player, he wouldn't be feeling what JJ Redick said publicly about his team, right? And see, what Lou, in my opinion, I just think as a player, you don't have a right to tell a coach how to respond to a poor performance by his team. That's number one. So whether Lou as a player is feeling the coach's reaction is not even really important, because shit rolls downhill, not up. So it's not, as a player, it's not his responsibility to feel what the coach is saying. That's number one. Number two, JJ Redick he played in college. He played for Mike Krzyzewski, right? One of the greatest college coaches ever. So JJ Redick is probably leaning on his experience and his time with playing for coach at Duke, Mike Krzyzewski, right? Mike Krzyzewski probably didn't allow those guys to take anything for granted. If you're coming off of a 5-game winning streak or a 10-game or 20-game winning streak, you can't have the attitude where, all right, that's just one game. You can't, as a coach, you can't allow your teams to have that attitude, because that might come back and bite you at the wrong time. I can't ever see Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, or Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, like wanting to have that, like taking that approach for one game. That's something like you hear LeBron James say when LeBron James said that, okay, that's just one, it's only basketball. As a coach, you don't want to hear your best player saying that it's only basketball, it's only a game. Now, if you're talking about like some type of major catastrophe happening, like somebody, getting hurt or some type of emergency happen, then okay, you put basketball in its perspective. But if we just talking about basketball, you don't get that from somebody like Tom Brady. And so that's a difference between like an elite ball player, a franchise ball player, and a guy like Lou. No disrespect to Lou, but Lou was, he was always the sixth man. Very good basketball player, excellent basketball player, but he was the sixth man on most of the teams that he played for. He probably started for a few teams, but he got six-man awards because he could come off. That was his role, to come off the bench and just light it up, and give them instant offense. But players, in my opinion, if Luka didn't like what the coach said, Luka just have to live with it. I think that, I remember when Magic Johnson was playing for Pat Riley, like it was never no question as to who was running the team. When or Chuck Daly had Isaiah Thomas, it was all about, even the guy, what was the guy that was in Boston? K.C. Jones had Larry Bird. You respect the fact that these guys are your franchise ball players, but you have to be able to hold these guys accountable. you can't tell these guys like a coach can't be a player can't tell a coach, I don't like the way you reprimanded me. Especially if he's saying, look, man, y'all ain't show me nothing out there. And and as a player, you don't want to go directly to, well, you the coach, you supposed to put us in a position to win. That's just true, right? But also, that's not you to call him out. Like I said, he had people who he answered to that will call him out and say, look, I don't think that you motivating these guys right. I don't think you putting these guys in a position to win. That's not I've never even seen Michael Jordan do that, or Kobe Bryant, Magic. Like I said, none of those guys did that to coaches, right? And so that, in my opinion, you really can't have that approach. You can't tell a coach how to coach you if you only the player.
Doing what we did to go coach this team, and now he's got all this gray hair and all this stress,
like being a president.
Yeah, like like I'm with Lou. Like, I don't think you need to overreact in a situation. It's the 10th game of the season, and again, you guys are off to a pretty good start for what the situation is. But on the flip side, you do respect it, and he's a guy that wears his heart on his sleeve, and he cares, and he, he's not sleeping nights. He's watching film. He's trying to find ways, which every good coach should do. I just think there's a
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not even a JJ Redick fan, right? I'm not, I like JJ Redick when he played in college. He was cool at Duke, but like I said, he played for Mike Krzyzewski, and I can imagine, like, nowhere in the world you could go to Mike Krzyzewski and tell him as a player, oh man, come on, calm down. We're on a 5-game winning streak. It don't work like that. Like, a coach's job is to get these players, Luka Doncic included, to reach their maximum potential. That's part of the reason why Luka Doncic was even traded from Dallas to Los Angeles, because in Dallas they felt like he was not reaching his maximum potential, right? And so even after the end of last season, JJ Redick made comments about conditioning, right? Conditioning was an issue. Then what Luka took it upon himself to go out and dedicate himself to getting into better shape, and that's why he's here right now. So just imagine if JJ Redick don't make that statement about conditioning because he don't think, he don't want to piss Luka off, or he don't want to hurt Luka's feelings. Luka come back, 20 or 30 pounds heavier than what he is right now. The Lakers would not, their record right now, I think, is 8-3. So the Lakers wouldn't be 8-3. They'd probably be 4-4 or something like that, or not 8 or 6-6. So I just don't think as a player you can, say, well, don't reprimand me like this, or don't, as long as he's not using, directly just like calling them names, or, like, players are just so sensitive. You think that because you are an adult, you're a grown man, that people can't, pull your coattail or call you out on certain things. And as a professional, like the ones, I don't know, I can't see like Isaiah Thomas ever getting called out, for something like that by Chuck Daly, because, like, nobody put as much pressure on himself probably as a player like Isaiah Thomas, and that's the difference between a franchise ball player and somebody who is a, sixth man, so in my opinion, he's speaking, and they're speaking from a different perspective. Like, if you win, I don't care how many games you win in a row. For some players, that's just not enough. They always, some players, the special ones are going to come to, they were like, man, even though we won, we played like garbage. There's some room for improvement there. Whereas though some people would be like, man, come on, man, let's take a break. So that I just wanted to point that out. I just thought, in my opinion, it's about mindset, and that's what separates the greats from the average ball players. So make sure to like and subscribe like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.